돌아온 영들 리턴하지.
Welcome back to the Hearthstone KeSPA Cup here live at the Nexon Arena. We're about to jump into our final match of the night. It's going to be Ghost versus Caster going head-to-head in a final best-of-5.
That is right. This is it. This will determine who moves on to the round of 4. Loser is out. A huge jump in prize money from this as well. Already Sugly was eliminated. And this is going to be what determines it all. As we're about to jump into our bans and deck drafts. Here we go. We'll see what gets brought here. Both players have been able to look and see what decks their opponents have been running. They've played against each other already in this group. And so there's a lot of extra mind games that go into this. Ghost destroyed Caster 3-0. His mage failed. But his paladin as well. He can't ban both.
Yeah.
He's going to have to pull one of those out. I'd say stick with the paladin. I'd say the freeze mage is more likely to work.
I don't want to see them like paladin, to be honest. Would love to see the freeze mage once again. Let's see. Okay, yes, he self-bans the paladin, and this time, okay, he gets his mage banned. Oh, wait, is that? I thought that's what they were banning from the other side. Interesting. Not sure about that. Ghost wasn't running a mage, so I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, that's what he got banned from Ghost. Okay, now I'm getting it. My brain is slowly coming together here.
It's kind of the opposite way of what we normally show bans, like say in a MOBA or something like that.
So,
but our 3 decks are Shaman, Rogue, and Warrior for Caster, and then Shaman, Druid, Rogue for Ghost.
Yep. So the double Shaman first pick. The theme of tonight. Wouldn't be surprised if that continues into the next 2 days as well. Caster looking much happier this time. He looked stressed out before his first match today. And then in the loser's match, as he slowly picked Sogui apart, he got happier and happier. Now he's beginning to look a little bit stressed out once again.
I would imagine that we'll have Shaman versus Shaman again, although that was not the case in our loser's match. Anything could happen. I think Rogue seems to be the most important deck. I have to say, like, it feels like the most difficult to defeat with all types of decks right now. We'll see if that is the win that turns this series around. I may save that for their second or third decks.
Yeah, very true. So guys, we are going to be jumping into game number 1 here of Ghost versus Caster.
Shaman versus Rogue. Ghost versus Caster here in game number 1. And it's Aya in the Shaman deck. So this Shaman deck is going to be a different variation from what we've seen already with Aya. Unless we haven't seen Aya really, just maybe it's the same deck with that we've seen earlier, just Aya never appeared. But with 2 Jade Claws and Aya, the Jades are definitely going to be much larger of a factor here for Ghost going into this matchup.
Yeah, no doubt he'll have Jade Lightning as well. And it's going to be just a little bit more of a jaded Shaman.
I like what you did there.
See what I did there? That was good. Pantis comes out.
If he wants to kill it, he needs to backstab first. Don't make that mistake on TV, please.
For everyone watching, please don't do that.
We've seen this before.
He's got Edwin Van Cleef in hand, so he may want to save that for next turn. But if it trades, then he's not going to be able to backstab, and you don't want to backstab your own thing. So
Yeah, I mean, you could, but it's not good. It's a tough choice. I mean, that's definitely what he's considering here. I'd say it's worth killing the Trog. That's two more for the Van Cleef, but he's not going to do it. And he's going to trade as well, so as you mentioned, he won't be able to backstab. Here comes out the Jade Claws. He's got a second Jade Claw in hand. Counterfeit coin.
is this going to be the turn? I think it is. He can backstab, he can Spirit Claws, and then he is going to go into Van Cleef, and this is going to be quite big.
Down he goes. An 8-8, I believe? 10-10.
So he empties his hand. It's basically an all-in Van Cleef.
And he knows that no Shaman decks are running Hex right now in this tournament, so that's the thing that you would... Don't try this at home, because the Shaman will Hex you, and you will lose the game. But in this tournament, especially after watching the group unfold, you know there's no Hexes being run, and so there's no fear here. And now it's going to absorb a lot of damage. And it looks like the Ghost is just simply going to avoid it, but he'll never be able to do 10 damage the same way. He's going to get a Jade. He's going to try to force Van Cleef to be used to trade instead.
But I think he's way ahead of the curve. I mean, he's going to swing for 10 here.
Yeah, 11 plus the Spirit Claws. I don't think he'll save the Spirit Claws, so that Drake is still 2 turns away. Yeah, he's going to swing face. And those tools he brought out are now going to be all he has. He has a Lightning Bolt.
He can clear it, but he has to take 10 more damage.
I think he should try to Spell Power here. It's risky, but I mean, he goes for this instead.
Oh,
like you said.
I guess he doesn't have to take 10 damage, actually, with the Overload. Okay.
But there's a lot of cards spent, and I think that was well worth it. But now this is an awkward hand for Caster. He has no minions to play, no Spell Power for his Spirit Claws, and sapping here is really...
You need to save that for the Flame Wreath.
Yeah,
Faceless.
You really just don't want to do it here. You're ahead in health. Ooh, that taunt is so painful too, because now he's going to get the Spirit Claws +2 from the Drake, but he won't have anything to hit with it. He'll have to waste a durability, one of his remaining 2 on this. Okay, nice top deck there on the Eviscerate. That prep Eviscerate.
All right, calm down, Mr. Top Deck. Oh, is he?
Oh, he's going to prep Sap.
Okay. Wants to save that damage after getting Leroy as well. I like it.
Because the Faceless doesn't have taunt, it's not something he's going to worry about having to sap later.
I think that's just it. There's no way to clear the Drake. He has 10 damage in hand and 7 on board. He needed the taunt totem, and he doesn't get it, so...
Well, he doesn't have enough mana to play Eviscerate and Leroy at the same time.
Oh, that's true.
But he is very quickly approaching that lethal. We'll see what he draws. He could get it.
Maybe Cold Blood.
It's going to be Tomb Pillager. We haven't seen him today. He's kind of been the rogue-defining card today. If he plays Leroy, he has 13 damage. He's up against 8, 9. He can play this Eviscerate the Totem Golem, trade into the Flame Tongue with his Dragon, and then just kind of chill out and wait for a turn. Can Spirit Claw's face. Does it this way instead for 1 extra damage. Okay, that's fine. Also keeps his Drake. Oh, it doesn't matter about health, so yeah, I just missed the damage there. I'm not a Hearthstone Pro gamer, but, you know. Hearthstone Pro caster.
If you were on that stage, you might have missed that damage. Everyone would have saw it.
Yeah, everyone
would have been embarrassed.
That would have been Twitch chat and YouTube chat, man. What happened? All those frowny faces. I know the YouTube chat frowny face. It would have been full of it. That guy looks like a little bit disconcerted. Okay. Oh, there's the Cold Blood. We'll need to clear these taunts first. There's Dagger here.
Interesting. He doesn't Dagger into the Wolf.
To save 1 damage, I guess. knowing that there's no Lightning Storm. He's okay with his Drake having 1 less health. Or 2 less health in this case. Jade Lightning. And we'll have to use Flame Strike with the Spirit Claws to eat 4 damage. That will be game with nothing to protect him from Leroy. Cold Blood. Caster will go up 1-0 in this series.
That Rogue, though, doing work once again. Takes out the Shaman. And keep in mind, Caster still got a Shaman coming up next, so we could see that mirror if Ghost wants to go into Shaman again.
Rogue, to me, today has been the most terrifying class. And in a way, he gets this early win, but he's not going to be able to rely on that Rogue later. With this format, it doesn't matter which order you play it in, except for your own mentality and for maybe a snipe counterplay, which today it seems like every class can beat every class theoretically, so there's not as much direct counters because no one's playing super all-index, like we're not saying super aggro warrior. That may change going into the round of 4 or potentially groups tomorrow, but Rogue down here for Caster. And I imagine Ghost will pull the Shaman again. Remember, his Druid variation is very slow, very Jade-based. So if he loses to Shaman again with the Druid, that is really going to be painful. I don't think that's going to be a good matchup. But I talked about how there's not that many matchups, but like I think this is one of the only ones, is the Druid versus the Shaman, that you're really going to struggle with.
Maybe he takes out the Rogue this time. We're going to have to wait and see. Jumping into game number 2 right now between Ghost and Caster.
It is going to be Shaman Mirrors Valdez as we get into this one with the more Jade committed variation from Ghost. There's a little bit more commitment to aggro, it seems, from Caster. Small variations.
It's really going to be up to, can Ghost hold on, not take too much damage, not lose too much tempo early on.
Let's see what Mergleton he goes for here. It will be a draw.
He picked that instantly. He knows this matchup. He's like, okay.
Top decking, board clear, and or direct damage is often what wins you this mirror. And this is actually scary. He does drop out that Jade Claw. But it's going to be a good Maelstrom turn, or just going to go for the Jade Claws, I guess, to clear. I don't know why I was thinking Maelstrom. Is it still going to give him the same +1? Maelstrom would have given him another minion, but it would have cleared. Actually skips the Golem, goes damage instead. Spirit Claws in hand, not going to have any value without spell power, but he does top deck that Flame Faceless. Health advantage here in favor of Ghost, but Caster with a huge card advantage.
Yeah, and the fact that Caster goes first, gets that Flame Wreath Faceless out there. He also has 2 in hand, whereas Ghost only has 1.
So it's not looking good for Ghost. He has 5 damage on his Jade Lightning. He could take 7 damage to clear this, but as you mentioned, the second one will come up, not immediately, but he can Spirit Wolves and then play it. Actually, not even the following turn, he'd have to wait another one. So, just considering what we know, it would not be a terrible choice. Okay, gets a Grimscale Oracle from this. He'll still take the 7 damage to face, but saves his Jade Lightning.
He could use the Spell Power Totem if he wanted to. Looks like he won't.
He wants to keep that, I think, because of the direct damage he has in hand. The spell power that, you know, that's basically 2 extra damage on the cards he has. In fact, he has 9 damage he could use direct. This Flame Totem will draw 3 damage. We do see that second rate Buccaneer come out.
Second-rate Buccaneer.
What is he? What is he? God. It's the inferior Buccaneer right now. He's small time.
Inferior Buccaneer.
Because the Buccaneer is like not as good as the other Buccaneers, right? Like, because the Buccaneer hasn't really come into his career yet.
I don't even think there's enough room on the card for that much text.
Have you seen the Warrior buff card, Hobgoblin, Bobgoblin, Cobgobbler? He gives all weapons +1 attack. Trust me, there's enough room.
I guess they could fit it, perhaps.
Patches, and the Spirit Claw is going to charge in here, but the Faceless is on board. He has so much damage in hand that he may even consider. Oh, he gets the taunt. He can definitely just go face here. He will do 10 damage. And he's got 4 more in hand. Saves the in hand. How many crystals is he locked right now? He's locked 2, so he'll have 4 mana next turn, so he won't be able to play both. No, he'll have 5. Yeah, he will have 5. So that's 7 more damage.
Well, we do have Spirit Wolves on the side. Oh, look at that.
Dust Devil.
And now he can protect it with his own Wolves.
Yeah, this could be a big turnaround.
The Wolves are really being the MVPs of this match right now.
Well, it's to be expected.
It's just wolf things, right?
To clear this, he could use his direct damage. But, oh man, he kind of has to. Even if he can't spell power into 5 damage, he won't be able to play the Jade if he does that. Plays both. There's the Dust Devil first, because that's 6. It's the 2-2. He still has that health advantage. He doesn't have totems for spell power. That's a bit unfortunate.
He's going to draw, not scared at all.
Who knows he can clear the big threat.
Pretty
The Jouster.
mediocre.
Yeah.
1 drop there.
It's unfortunate that if he goes into this, he's going to lose the buff for the small-time Buccaneer. But he does it regardless, which is simply being the correct choice with the Flame Tongue in hand. And the top deck here is another Totem Golem. He's hoping for taunt. Heals. Still has this huge health advantage.
Yeah, and that Totem Golem can't be cleared as of yet. There's a lot of cards he can draw to clear it.
He's looking for a Jade Lightning. Caster is, if he can get that. Alright, this could be the beginning of the end for Caster if he doesn't get a good draw here. And it is the Wolves again, MVPs.
Funny the way that works out.
Yeah.
Oh, even draws and gets another Trog, so you can buff that up as well.
Sometimes you gotta play greedy like this when you have this huge card advantage, or excuse me, board advantage. And I mean, this seems to be the beginning of the end for Ghost, as that draw big time helped him out. South Sea Deckhand is not going to do anything for him here.
Yeah, useless. He doesn't even play it.
He doesn't want. He wants him to think maybe it's a, you know, Lava Burst or something like that that he has to play around. So maybe he'll prevent him from drawing here. But in reality, he's totally fine too. So he will play around that. It looks like to not draw. But still not. Still, that fear of Lava Burst isn't going to help Ghost win this game.
Caster, if he draws, okay, with the Taunt Totem, Ghost buys himself another turn.
Still threatening that Lava Burst fake. I mean, he's just so fine no matter what. There's no fear of flooding the board with the knowledge that there is no Lightning Storm in this deck. Clears the board and is starting to threaten lethal himself. Has it next turn with no clear. And based on Ghost Face, oh, the second South Sea Deckhand.
That's really unfortunate.
And he concedes. I don't know if that was lethal on board or not.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was actually just exactly, I think. Well,
so, there you have it. Caster, he takes 2 in a row, and man, at the beginning of the day, after he got 3-0'd, I'm like, well, this isn't the player I remember Caster to be, but he's done a lot better, especially after self-banning Paladin twice now.
Yeah, that Paladin deck, I think, was the reason why I kind of had to scoff a little bit. as he failed with it twice, and it looked very weak. And if he wins with this next match with Warrior as final deck, I don't think we'll be seeing it in the semis, or at least if we do it in a very different form. As it did not find success today.
Nobody else today brought Paladin, just him. And we saw it played a couple times, as you said, and now it's banned, so probably not going to be too popular. But it looks like we are just about ready to jump into game number 3. Can Caster get the reverse sweep? Or rather, can Ghost get the reverse sweep? Or can Caster close it out here with a 3-0 getting revenge over Ghost and what Ghost did to him? Let's jump into game number 3 right now. Find out.
Alright, it's going to be Rogue versus this final Warrior deck from Caster. Gets Grom in his hand this time, so no fancy top deck. If he plays it, it's going to be just straight from the hand. And we'll be play a turn 1 Burglar here, Swashbuckler from Ghost. So if he played small-time Buccaneer, value without a dagger the next turn. Gets a revenge, I believe.
Picks up patches. I mean, he couldn't really do anything else except armor up. He didn't play patches.
Yeah, it's never good to have patches in your hand, but in this case, it's actually fine. Alright, plays the second, or small-time Buccaneer. I'm
the second small-time Buccaneer, not the first.
Backstab.
SI.
Coin. Or no, he doesn't even need the coin. The SI's got 3 mana.
That's the classic Rogue combo.
Yeah, this looks really good. He has complete control. Turn 4 play looks weak. All he has is this Horcron, which he can trade into the second rate, but
there's another SI in hand, so.
Yep.
Or he could even Fan of Knives.
I think Fan of Knives is. No, he's not. He disagrees. But
gets rid of the coin.
He can dagger here.
It's kind of interesting. It's a big tempo play, but you're losing a card draw for your Gadgetzin when you eventually get it.
I would say he's going all in here, but he's really he's pushing the boundaries as to what his hand can do right now. Okay, that's a good top deck right there. That's going to allow him to clear this with the Swashbuckler.
It's huge.
And he draws a card, his Conceal, one piece of what he needs to draw. It seems like Caster just does not have enough of an answer here. His responses are being dealt with swiftly. And this is exactly what you want as a rogue, to just have the feeling of, I've got a better board than you, and everything you play, slowly, I dismantle. Another Drake.
These draws are pretty big.
Oh man, he has Conceal and Leroy. And this might be will seal the deal.
Yeah, quick game 3, I suppose. See what he draws.
I think the only thing that would save him here is Brawl. And he's not running it, so.
Well, he does this to armor up. Have a chance of surviving.
It's not going to be enough. 15 damage with Leroy. Not to mention he could top deck something for more damage. There we go. 4, 14. Okay, 4, 8, 14. There you go.
Never do math on stream.
Well, I mean, it would have been 4, 10, 14, but he went the other way.
Yeah. Well, Ghost stays in it. A very quick game 3, and Rogue is the MVP deck of the night so far.
It seems to be the most powerful, and to be honest, it's the deck that I have probably played the least of in this expansion, and after tonight, you can bet I'm going to take these deck lists and I'm going to put them in my iPad, right? I'm like, I might as well do it right now.
As we cast.
Yeah. So, Rogue now removed from this series, though. Ghost gets that Rogue win, but he's going to need to get a win with Druid and Shaman against this Warrior. We'll see if Caster can keep the momentum he gained earlier on. Seems to be in these matchups with the Shaman especially, getting Alex Strauss's champion really can be the turning point right at the beginning, where you suddenly have too much. Shaman is constantly keeping up with you, and while doing so, getting overcharged crystals.
So guys, we're gonna jump straight into game number 4. It could be the last one of the night. Is Caster gonna close it out, or can Ghost keep the streak alive?
Shaman will be the choice here of Ghost. Warrior with that first. Ooh, good hand so far for Caster. He has Small Time Buccaneer with the N'Zoth's first mate synergy. On the other side of things, it's not a terrible hand for Ghost, but I would definitely give the advantage to Caster.
Yeah, he didn't have any of these early cards in that last game, so maybe this one is going to turn out a lot different.
He will get his own patches here, and he'll have the Rusty Hook, so he can clear his opponent's Small Time Buccaneer. His gets buffed. Counterwise, Ghost will have to use either the Flame Tongue or this Lightning to clear his opponent's.
Does he go for Totem Golem?
That would be an interesting choice. It'll overcharge him, and he won't be able to clear. He'll take a lot more damage that way, and it'll be just cleared right away. I like Flame Tongue better. Goes for the Totem Golem instead. Can only clear first mate, and now his Golem will get cleared. And Alex Strauss's champion on board with charge.
Third is going to come out and do 3 damage, and he has answers later on. He has the Fairy Dragon for the Blackwing Corruptor to do that damage. If any more 1-drops come out, he can use his Ravaging Ghoul.
Yeah, that South Sea deckhand feels pretty weak right now, especially without a weapon. Flame Tongue totally useless as well. I think this was arguably an incorrect choice to use the Golem there. I think it's really coming back to bite Ghost here. Had he used the Flame Tongue, he'd still be in a similar situation, but he'd be able to now put out another Golem, which would be difficult to deal with. Fierce Monkey insta-played.
It's perfect, because you don't want to play the Ravaging Ghoul. It'll have no effect, unless you really wanted to clear that totem with your weapon instead of Alex Strauss's champion.
This is a weak play, but that's all he can do. Jade Lightning will eliminate the Fierce Monkey. The hook can clear. Can also use this to clear for 1 more damage. Could even save the hook. He will. And okay, finally gets the weapon so the South Sea can charge. Clear Alex Strauss's champion.
But also Lightning Bolts.
Yeah, he actually can Lightning Bolt and clear with the Jade Claws. I like that better. Keep the Totem Golem alive on board. Very well done.
Having the hook is really big. Now he can clear the totem. Oh, and he draws the second Blackwing Corruptor.
That's so powerful. He also has the Curator. This is not looking good for Ghost. And Lava Burst will help him deal with one of these large threats. Use the Flame Tongue to clear the Blackwing Corruptor. Actually, probably use Southside Deckhand because has less health. Oh man, this is just big threats after big threats coming up for Caster now. His curve is hit in full effect. Card advantage, board advantage, another Jade Claw. That's not going to be very helpful.
The draws here for Caster are so much better. Ghost really isn't getting anything to help him catch up in this game. Makes a 3/3 Jade Golem. That'll help.
He has spell power too, which is handy.
박물관에는 초대받은 손님만
He can actually just
입장하실 수
straight clear that with
있습니다.
lava if he wants to. And Caster is somewhat low on health. He's going to trade this for upgrade to the 3-3. Is that Maelstrom? What is that? Yeah, Maelstrom Portal comes out. Actually, not a bad draw here. Clear the 5-1.
The Lava Burst.
That's actually not the worst.
That's annoying.
Yeah, like that's going to be difficult to deal with no Whirlwind. And since he already used his Ravaging Ghoul earlier, he's not going to have any way of clearing that. He wants this to hit the spell power totem to give it +1 health. Gets the Searing Totem instead. It's still a threatening board. He's going to save the Draconid Crusher for a 9-9. Curious what the Korkron target's going to be. Just for the 2-2. Separated the spell power totem.
Yeah, he's down to 10 health, and I guess 12 now with the armor, so wants to play it safe.
Wolves coming out. Not a bad draw at all. Ghost. Clear this with base.
Can Ghost hang on here? That's the question. Ooh, and one of the wolves actually gets the buff, which is quite nice.
That's exactly what he wanted to.
Oh, but nice draw off the top there, Twilight Guardian.
Caster smiles.
So did Ghost. He's like, oh man.
Okay, Spirit Claws do have spell power. He can clear Wolf. No, he actually can't. For some reason, I was imagining that Searing Totem was still alive. Can't actually clear this without hitting Wolves twice, which would be inefficient. He has a healing totem. He may just simply have to live with it. He might have no other choice here. It's a tough call. There's no other option.
It's either you clear it or you don't. He's gonna clear it.
He's gonna clear it. Oh, half measure here. I guess the 2 taunts remaining is not terrible. And this is not a Priest Dragon, so it's not like it's going to come back. 15 health exactly. We'll give Draconid Crusher 9-9. And Caster's face is very content with this situation.
Draconid Crusher is a dragon, right? He missed the charge on his Alexstrasza's champion. I was wondering why he was shaking his head. Yeah, he's not happy with that.
You're right.
He just missed 3 damage. He could have cleared the spell power totem. That's pretty huge, although that draw for Ghost is horrendous.
Oh, he could be, if he knew, he'd be happy. He doesn't know.
If he didn't have the 3 damage, he couldn't clear this Drake. And the game might have just been over because the 9-9 could get through. I guess the 9-9 can still get through.
Yeah, well,
Bookworm. Well, he's got lethal.
Bookworm can't clear that, but this can, and that's 12 damage,
yep.
And that will be game. Caster takes the series. Only some close calls there for him in the final game, but he will take it 3-1. He gets his revenge, making their total score against each other actually negative against him. He's 6-7.
Yeah.
But wins the final match. You can see these two are friends. A little bit of a chat there. And you can tell it Ghost, even though he's having a friendly chat there, he's unhappy. Master has the smile. We will be interviewing him after a short break, but it's been a great first day of KeSPA Cup here. We've sort of seen the meta solidify a little bit from the start.
Yeah. It's been a fun day. You know, we don't often get to cast Hearthstone, but we do both play the game, enjoy it. And it's a different casting style, obviously, so it's a bit of a change. But guys, we're going to take a 1-minute break. Yes, just 1 minute, and when we come back, we'll have the interview with Caster. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with that interview.